Oh shit, where's my glasses? Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Spokane Steve here, and it's time for another game of Strat-O-Matic baseball. We're moving on to May the 25th here today, and hello, Michael. Lovely downtown Spokane, that's right. Hi, Kenyon. Hello, Ben. Hello, Mike. Hello, Trent. Michael, I forget now, what part of town do you live in again? I know I asked you this before. My apologies. Short-term memory and all. And there's Franklin. Hello, Franklin. Trent, I responded to your message. You can find my email on my main page. I can give you my phone number through there. I don't really want to put my phone number on here for obvious reasons. It did, Kenyon. It shot way up. It seems like a lot more people are watching the live broadcast too lately. Maybe not today. Today's a football day, of course, so we'll see how it goes. But you know, the show must go on. Before we get to the game, let's take a quick look at our standings. Since we're moving on to a new day, Monday the 25th. Minnesota Twins at Boston Red Sox. So you can see the Twins here are in second place, just a game back of the Orioles. The Athletics fell to 2 back with that crazy loss on Friday. Boston 15-20 find themselves 8.5 games back. Oh, and that reminds me too, I did finish the, hang on a second. Okay. That looks pretty good. I finished inputting the box score into the computer game. So there's your final from Friday's game. 5-2 Senators in 13 innings. Cox was the winning pitcher with 3 scoreless innings of relief. John Wyatt took the loss. Player of the game was Dick Nan, of course, with the walk-off homer. Anyway, I don't always print them, but since I didn't finish writing in the totals, there they are. Senators, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Athletics, 2 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. A wild game, and I'd like to just take a second to take a good look at the starting pitchers' lines. Dobson, 1 hit in 8 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, an impressive 10 strikeouts. But Ortega as well, 8 innings, a 5-hitter. Both the runs he allowed were unearned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So neither pitcher deserved a loss. And of course, neither pitcher received a loss. The decisions went to the bullpen. So 2 great pitching performances. It was a hell of a duel there for 9 innings, really. And there is, who else we got here? Thomas is here. Yeah, great deal there, Thomas. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love these score sheets. Again, I can't take credit for it. That was Joel Anderson who sent me this way early in the replay. You're right, Franklin. I think it might have. I think the interview might have helped. Kind of a lazy Sunday here. I partied a bit yesterday. And some family drama, and then some good times. A great homemade lasagna made by my cousin. Actually my aunt, but she's younger than me, so I often called her my cousin. That way I don't have to explain it, which I just did. It's a kind of a low-key game. I'm trying to pump myself up a little bit. And welcome to Bill. Okay, let's get to this game. For Minnesota, the lefty Jim Codd on the mound. Jerry Stevenson's a right-hander, isn't he? Yes, he is. Stevenson with a rough card. On the surface, just based on the pitching matchup, it would appear to be a huge advantage for the Twins. And we'll take a look at their numbers here briefly. Jim Codd, 4-1 with a 4.01 ERA. He's had 8 starts and completed 4 of them. 67 innings, 79 hits, a little high there. 12 walks only, however, and 51 strikeouts. For Stevenson, he's 1-5 with a 4.79. He's made 8 starts with 1 complete game, 36 innings, 36 hits. Stevenson's bugaboo has been the walk. He's walked 26 in 36 innings, struck out 30. Does that jive with the card? Well, you've got 11, 13, 18, 23, 26 walk chances lefty. There's 6, 12, 21 walk chances righty, if I'm counting those up correctly. So yeah, he did walk quite a few that year in real life. 44 walks in 66 innings. So yeah, it does bear out. I'm glad of that, Trent. I'm glad a lot of you guys prefer vintage Strat-O-Matic to football. That way I've got somebody to keep me company. I don't follow football. I used to when I was young, but I haven't for many, many years now. Let's get to the Twins lineup here. Zoilo Versalles will lead it off at shortstop. Rich Rollins at third base hit second. Tony Oliva in right field bats third. Harmon Killebrew at first base hits cleanup. Jimmy Hall is in center field hitting fifth. Bob Allison in left bats sixth. Earl Batty will do the catching and hit seventh. Bernie Allen at second base hitting eighth. Caught. Right, Mike C? Plus 12 battery. Of course, adjusted to plus 5 for the purpose of the game. It's the most it can be, minus 5 to plus 5. But yeah, plus 9 hold for Stevenson and Tillman with a plus 3 arm. I think it's safe to assume that the Twins will be trying to steal every chance they got. The Red Sox defensively, of course, the aforementioned Tillman doing the catching. Scott at first. Smith's back in the lineup at second with Petrocelli at short. Foy down at third. Outfield left to right, Yastrzemski, George Thomas, and Canigliaro. And greetings to Philip Reynolds. And a good crowd on hand for a Sunday. Usually Sunday is not the biggest crowd. Wouldn't that be something, Mike? If Killebrew stole a base. Let's see if it's possible. You got me curious now. He's only got a 3, so he'd be at best an 8. He would never be held on, obviously, so plus 5, he'd be an 8. Yeah, I don't think he's going to steal. But somebody will. You can almost bet on that. Okay, the righty Stevenson's ready to go to work here. Zoilo steps in. Versailles is hitting .252 on the season. 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 3-3 right-handed. It's a grounder down to third base where Foy takes it and throws him out, and we are underway here. 5-3, 1 down. Ben says, why not? Let him try to steal 1 through 8. Maybe I should do more things like that. Yeah, I think I will say something, and you guys can comment on this, yay or nay, or whatever you guys think. I think sometimes you have to do it. I get too caught up in trying to play a fair game instead of playing the game I want to. For example, I really wish I'd have just let this be Dobson's game to finish. Yes, the move strategically would be to bring in Aker. It didn't work out this time. But I think if I could go back in this game, I would just say it's his game to win or lose, unless he fatigued, of course. But he didn't, right? Let's see where Dobson was. He came out here. Where was he in the 9th? An error and a pass ball, so he didn't have a single point against his fatigue. Anyway, these things happen. Exactly, man. But I was looking back on that thinking, man, I wish I'd have just, thought, okay, as well as he's pitched, we're just going to make this his game to win or lose. Here's Rollins now. Rollins hitting .341, just 14 for 41, 2 homers, 10 RBIs in part-time play. It's going to be a 5-6 right-handed. It's a double to 12 on an 11. That's going to split the gap. Rollins will head into second with a stand-up double. 1-out double for Rollins. Here's Tony Oliva now. Stevenson, in addition to having a rough card, is just a 5 endurance starter. Tony Oliva on the season, .288 so far, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Stevenson checks the runner. The pitch to Oliva is a 6-4 left-handed. That's a grounder to shortstop X. Tough chance for Petrocelli here. Into the hole he goes, 2E38, and here's the play. On an 11, it's the E rating. It's a roll of a 10 on a 38, and he makes the play and throws him out. How about that? Runner holds. Fine play, Petrocelli. Honestly, I was almost anticipating an error there, and he made a fine play. Good point, Kenyon. Words to live by, for sure. That's what I told myself. Play your game a little bit more. Anyway, lean that way a little bit more. And yes, Trent, it was. In fact, you might even argue that Aker should have started the inning. Got a clean inning to work with. Although really the clean inning is more a product of the more recent game, isn't it? Back in the 60s, you never heard them talk about that. Relievers often came in, I would say most of the time, came in with runners on base. And an excellent point by Bill, every game isn't Game 7 of the World Series. But I will say this, when I started doing this, I thought, okay, what are my priorities here? Well, of course, to have fun and to have a fair replay. But my number one priority is to provide entertainment for you guys. So that's the first and foremost thing that's really always on my mind, is the game entertaining. Okay, here's Killebrew now. Trying to pick up Rollins at second. Killebrew hitting .327 so far. 6 home runs and a team leading at 27 RBIs. First pitch is way outside for a ball. Stevenson seems almost reluctant to pitch to Harmon, but Hall is on deck. So here comes Stevenson with the next pitch. It's going to be a 1-5, and he does lose him. Walk to Killebrew. Stevens, as I say, didn't seem particularly interested in challenging Harmon. And here's Jimmy Hall now. Hall. Hall 408. 29 for 71, 7 home runs, which leads the team, and 18 RBIs. It's another movie quote, isn't it, Michael? You've got me on that one. First and second runners take their lead. The pitch from Stevenson to Hall is a 6-11 ground ball to the pitcher X. Stevenson a 3-E-22. Big play here already in the first inning. And here's the result of that play. E-range, his roll is an 8 on a 22, and the play is made by Stevenson, who throws him out at first. 1-3-X, side retired. No runs to hit, 2 left on after half an inning. Minnesota nothing. Boston coming to bat. Gladiator. I don't think I saw that. Maybe a long time ago and I forgot, but it doesn't ring a bell. And another good point from Franklin. Yes, we've had some great games between 2 second division teams quite often this season. And thank you, Trent. I appreciate that. Well, when you're trying to manage for both teams and to make both teams win, I'm responding to Franklin's remark about playing that way anyway. Yes, when you're trying to play for both teams, it's hard not to. Okay, caught getting loose here. Here's the Red Sox lineup. With the exception of the center fielder, well, no, that isn't true. Anyway, here it is. Rico Petrocelli at short leading off. Joe Foy moves up to the 2 spot at third base. It's Carl Yastrzemski in the familiar 3 spot in left. George Scott, the cleanup man, at first. Tony Conigliaro in right field hits 5th. George Thomas gets the start in center today. He'll hit 6th. Bob Tillman, the catcher, hit 7th. George Smith back in the lineup at second base, 8th, and Stevenson 9th. The Twins set up like this in the field. It's Batty catching, Killebrew at first, Allen and Versailles up the middle with Rollins down at third, and the outfield left to right, Allison, Hall, and Oliva. So here we go to the bottom of the first here on a Sunday. Rico Petrocelli steps in hitting .262, 3 homers, 13 RBIs. Caught ready to work the left-hander into the windup. That's a 1-2 lefty, a liner right into the glove of Rich Rollins. Petrocelli smoked that one right at third base. Rollins caught it. 1 down, and here's Joe Foy. Foy, the leading hitter on the Boston club at a .300 average. 6 home runs, a dozen RBIs for Foy. And here's the pitch from Cott. That's a 6-6 right-handed, a double to 5 on a 19. Foy will round and hold with a long single. One out single for Foy, no threat to run. Here's Yastrzemski now. Yastrzemski hitting .250 on the year, 4 homers, 17 RBIs. Second good review I've heard on Wicked. Caught out of the stretch now. The pitch he has is a 1-9 left-handed grounder to shortstop. Versailles has it, goes to Allen for 1, to Killebrew, not in time. Yastrzemski beats him to the bag. That's going to go as a 6-4 force. And Yastrzemski at first, a star 15 stealer, so let's check the battery now for the Twins. Caught with a -1 hold. Batty is 0. That would make Yastrzemski a 14. And they're going to hold him on with 2 down, making him a 12. My pleasure, Razor. Glad you enjoyed it. Here's George Scott now. Scott at .254, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. Caught checks the runner, comes to the plate, 6-4 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be a tough chance for Versailles, a 2E44. Here's the play. On an 18, he's there, throws him out, and that will do it in the first. 6-3X, side retired. No runs to hit, a man left, and we're scoreless after an inning. Just getting started here on a Sunday. Hello, Jeff. Welcome. I had a little wine last night, I have to admit, so I think that's probably one reason I slept a little rough. It feels like my throat is a little raspy today. We go to the second inning. Bob Allison will lead it off for Minnesota. Allison hitting .279, just 17 for 61 in part-time play. He has 1 homer, 7 RBIs. Stevenson into the windup. That's a 4-7 right-handed, a single to 15, and that's past the diving Foy and into left field for a leadoff single. Allison can run. And we know what the Red Sox battery is. It's a +5. Allison held at 18. And he's going to try for the lead. He needs a 5. 6, he does not get it. What would he be on the back number? Well, he's just an 11, so he would be a +5, 16 -4, he'd be a 12. Here's Batty now. Batty .297 on the year, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. Stevenson from the stretch. That's going to be a 5-6 right-handed. It's a double to 12 on a 17. It'll be a long single for Batty. Allison will round and head for third. And the Twins have runners at the corners with nobody out here in the second. Batty not held at 20. He needs a 4 for the lead. And here's Bernie Allen. Allen at .294, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. Let's see how the Red Sox are going to play it now. Early in the game, they'll be at double play depth. And welcome to Kurt. I know the answer to that, but I'll let somebody else field that question. Double play depth, Stevenson from the stretch. The pitch to Bernie Allen is a 5-7 left-handed. That is a double to 1 through 9 on a 19. It's a 2-star single. Allison will score easily. Batty goes to third, and it's 1-0 Twins. RBI single for Allen. 3 consecutive singles here off of Stevenson. And the batter will be caught. A pretty good hitting pitcher. Left-handed hitter, 6N. He's a D bunter. They will stay at double play depth. And Cott's going to swing away. Here's the pitch now on a 4-9. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Stevenson makes short work of the opposing pitcher. 1 away, and here's Zoilo. Infield still back. First and third, 1 away. Here's the pitch to Versailles. That's going to be a 2-10 right-handed. Fly ball to right field, B ? Canigliaro backs up and makes the catch. Batty could tag up and score, but he's very slow. 8-10 with 2 outs. Canigliaro a 0. A lot of times I will go on a low chance with 2 outs. And in this case, we're going to hold him up and make sure Rollins gets to the plate this inning with Tony Oliva to follow. 1-0 Twins, 2 down in the second. Rollins doubled his first time up. Now Stevenson checks the runners. Here's the pitch for Rollins. That's going to be a 4-5. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Stevenson got out of that fairly cheaply, I'd have to say. Just 1 run on 3 hits, 2 left. And the Twins take a 1-0 lead at the bottom of the inning. No one? No one's going to answer that one, huh? I'll give it another half inning. If nobody answers it, I'll chime in. Here's Cott now getting set to work in the bottom of the inning. Canigliaro will lead it off for Boston. Tony C. hitting .259 so far. 5 home runs, 20 RBIs. Or, you could just go to Jeffrey's channel and watch the World Series. It's still there. Cott gets the sign from Batty. Here's the windup on the pitch to Canigliaro on a 3-2. He hits him. Oh, my goodness. Cott hits Tony Canigliaro to start the inning. Canigliaro jogs down to first. And here's George Thomas. Thomas just 11 for 47 so far. It's a .234 average. He does have 2 home runs. Caught from the stretch now. Comes in there with a 2-5 left-handed. It caught the corner. Strike 3 called. Thomas doesn't like it. Says a few words to the umpire. Home plate umpire Johnny Stevens. Excuse me, not Jerry. Johnny Stevens. And here's Tillman. Tillman, the catcher. .286 on the year, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. Caught from the stretch. That's going to be a 4-7 right-handed. A single on a 1, on a 6. That grounder is fielded nicely by Killebrew. He goes down to Versailles for 1, and that's all they'll get. That'll be a 1-6 force. Canigliaro erased. Tillman standing at first with 2 down, and here's the second baseman, George Smith. Smith at .235 on the year, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. The pitch from Cott, 5-6 right-handed. It's a triple on a 1, and would you look at that? Smith rolls the 1, and he's going to get the daily triple, and that will drive in Tillman. That's going to tie the game. Smith, 5-6. Let's look at it again. Triple on a 1, single, anything else. And he rolled the 1. Oh, my goodness. How about that? Absolutely, Kurt. Yep. Braves over Orioles. Well, he was forced, wasn't he, Ben? Yeah, I wrote that. That's my fault. I wrote it incorrectly. We had a hit by pitch, a strikeout, and then a 1-6 forced play. Canigliaro was forced at second. Yeah, I marked it wrong. Thank you for keeping me on my toes, though. That's going to bring up Stevenson with a runner on third and 2 down. Tie ball game now. Caught with the pitch. That's going to be a 4-8 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Sorry, Stevenson's a left-handed batter. Right-handed pitcher, but a left-handed hitter. 4-8, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Same either side on a 4-8. 2 strikeouts for Cott in the inning. The Red Sox get a run on a hit and leave one. 1-1 after 2. And here's Jerry Stevenson now. Heart of the order due for the Twins. Oliva, Killebrew, and Hall. Oliva 0 for 1. Stevenson with the pitch. That's going to be a 1-10 right-handed. It's a high fly ball into deep right field. Canigliaro back, gone. Home run, Tony Oliva. Let's take another look. 110. Right-handed 1 to 18. He rolls the 10. And for Tony Oliva, that's his 6th home run of the season. And the Twins retake the lead 2 to 1. Here's Killebrew now. Killebrew walked his first time up. Stevenson into the windup. The pitch is a 4-10 right-handed. It's a grounder to third base X. Tough chance for Foy, a 4-E25. Here's the play on a 19. He's there. Throws him out in time. Killebrew is out at first. Foy perhaps helped out there a little bit as Killebrew a little slow going down the line. And the batter will be Jimmy Hall. Hall 0 for 1. Stevenson with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 4-10 left-handed. Another grounder to third base X. Another X chance for Foy. 4-E25. Here's the play on a 20. He's there and throws him out. So back-to-back fine plays by Foy. Forgot to put the X on the first one. So Foy flashing the leather here in the third. 2 down, and here's Allison. Allison singled his first time up, came around to score. The pitch from Jerry Stevenson is a 3-6 right-handed. It's a ground ball to short. Petrocelli fields it to Scott, and the side is retired. Twins get a run, however, on the Tony Oliva home run. And they lead it 2 to 1. Yes, indeed, man. Unexpected defensive hero. For that matter, back-to-back X plays to third base. Fairly rare, I would think. Here's Petrocelli now, top of the order for Boston in the bottom of the third. Rico lined to third his first time up. Cott gets the sign from Batty now. Here's the pitch to Rico. It's going to be a 4-3 right-handed. It's a grounder to first base X. That's going to be a tough chance for Killebrew, a 4-E17. And here's the play on a 16. He's got it. Flips to Cott covering. Nice play. Three 1X, 1 down, and here's Foy. Foy with a single and 2 fine defensive plays so far in this ball game. Caught into the windup. Comes in there with a 1-8 left-handed. That is that's a leaner on the 20. We're going to have to re-roll that. It's a homer to 5, double anything else. Here's the roll. It's going to be a 2-base hit for Foy. So Foy having a day so far. Single and a double. A couple of nice plays in the field. And here's Carl Yastrzemski now. Oh, that's right, Razor. Yeah, it's the winter meetings. I almost forgot. I saw that big deal with the Giants and Willie Adames, 7-year deal. Yaz 0 for 1 in this one. Hot left on left now. He comes in there with a 5-2 left-hander. It's a fly ball to right and shallow. Coming on is Oliva. He's there to make the catch, and Foy will have to hold at second. Holy cow, Kurt. It's up to George Scott, runner in scoring position and 2 down. Caught into the windup now. It's a 4-4 right-handed. That's going to be catcher's card X. That'll be Batty, a fine catcher. Batty, a 2-E2. It's going to be the error range, an 8 on a 2. It's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate, little nubber. Batty on it like a cat, fires down to first, and the side is retired. 2-3X. No runs, a hit, 1 left for the Red Sox. After 3 innings of play, it's a 1-1 tie. Holy cow. Is Soto worth more than Ohtani? See, I can't see that. Inflation, I guess, huh? It's just, you feel like you're talking about monopoly money anymore. It's so crazy. We're moving to the third inning. Excuse me, we're moving to the fourth inning. We played 3. Earl Batty will start it off. It's the bottom third of the Minnesota order. Batty singled his first time up. Stevenson gets the sign from Tillman now. The pitch to Earl Batty is a 3-5 right-handed. It's a grounder down to short. It's Petrocelli over to Scott, 1 down. And here's Bernie Allen now. Allen singled in a run his first time up. Stevenson into the windup. That's going to be a 6-6 left-handed, and he walks him. 1 out walk to Bernie Allen, who's reached both times. Allen, a 13. He's an 18 not held, but not a star stealer. If he rolls that 8, he's a dead duck. Caught a D-bunter. 4 through 6, that's 8-5. Cott's going to hit away, left-handed hitter. 2-11, that's a high fly ball to right field. Backing up is Canigliaro at the track, at the wall. He leaps at the wall and makes the catch for the out. Did you see that? Holy cow. Jim Cott just missed hitting a home run on a 2-11, 1-16 homer, and he rolled the 20. A loud out to right. So Cott just missed getting it out of here. And here's Versailles. The pitch from Stevenson is a 4-10 right-handed, a grounder to third base X. Another X chance for Joe Foy. 4E25. Here's the play. On a 4, he's not going to get that one. That's going to get past him and down the line for extra bases. They're going to hold Allen up at third on a 2-out double by Versailles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all, or at least most of us, feel the same way. Here's Rollins, 1 for 2. Runners at second and third. Stevenson with the pitch on a 4-4 right-handed. That's catcher's card X. That's going to be Tillman. Tillman, a 3E4. Here's the play. On a 7, it's a pop out to the catcher. Runners will not advance, and the side is retired. So Stevenson wiggles out of another one. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Going to the bottom of the fourth. Twins lead it 2-1. So Stevenson, he's given up some base runners today, but he's hanging in there. Red Sox will send up Canigliaro, Thomas, and Tillman in the bottom of the fourth. Canigliaro, of course, was hit by a pitch his first time up. Cott gets the sign now. Here's the pitch on a 1-6 left-handed. Struck him out. Called strike 3. Down goes Canigliaro for Jim Cott. That's his third K of the ball game. And here's George Thomas. Thomas struck out his first time up. Caught getting the sign now. Comes in with a 1-5 lefty. Gets a routine ground ball to shortstop. Versailles over to Killebrew, 2 down. Tillman 0 for 1. Caught set now. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-8 right-handed. Ground ball up the middle. Cut off there by Versailles. Spins and throws. Side retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox in the 4th. After 4 complete, it's 2-1 Twins. Isn't that something? So Mario, I remember Mario Soto. Well, Soto, a fantastic pitcher. He never pitched in the World Series. I did not know that. So then who's the Soto that got thrown out of the World Series game, Kurt? Was that Soto with another team? Did he pitch for somebody else? I don't remember him pitching for anybody else besides the Reds. But that doesn't mean he didn't. You know how it is. We tend to remember these players where they played the bulk of their career. To me, Soto, synonymous with the Reds. Okay, we're going to the 5th, and for Jerry Stevenson, his first inning of potential fatigue, and he'll be looking at the heart of the Twins' order here. Oliva, Killebrew, and Hall. It seems like he would have been, Michael. That was during the short period when I lived in Las Vegas. I remember that series. I like that. I can just see it now, right? And we signed him for $1 billion. Oliva has a home run in this one, 1 for 2. Stevenson into the windup. That's going to be a 4-11 left-handed, a ground ball to first base X. Tough chance for Scott, who is a 3E15. And here's the result of that play. On a 14, it's the E range. It's a 2. The roll of a 2 on an E15, these are often interesting. It's a 2-base error on a 1 through 5, but look at that. The white dies a 6. That's a ground ball A. Scott takes it to the bag. Nice play, Scott. Oh, Soto was gone by then. Thank you, Kenyon. Killebrew 0 for 1 with a walk. Stevenson with the pitch now. 1-8 right-handed. He walks him. So Killebrew walks for the second time today. +5. He's an 8. Too close of a game to send Killebrew. And the batter will be Jimmy Hall. So again, I go back to which Soto got kicked out of a World Series game. Or thrown out, I should say. Jimmy Hall 0 for 2. Stevenson from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-3 right-handed. It's a ground ball to third base. A ground ball to second base. That's going to be Smith to Petrocelli to Scott. Double play. Let's take another look there. 3-3 ground ball to second base. A, the side is retired. And how about that? Jerry Stevenson effective through 5. Hanging right there with Jim Cott in a pitcher's duel here today. Smith-Stevenson do-up. I'll throw that out to the group if anybody has any opinions on that. They trail, but only 2-1, and it's still early. My inclination is to let him bat. Here's Smith. Cott gets the sign from Batty. That's going to be a 3-12 left-handed. It's a grounder down to third base, fielded there by Rollins, who throws across in time. Excuse me, that's not a 5-3. That's not a 6-3. That's a 5-3. Not a big deal. And in a close game, still early, Stevenson will come to bat. Left on left. It's a 3-7, grounder to second base. It's Allen, flips to Killebrew. 2 down quickly in the 5th. Here's Petrocelli now, 0 for 2 on the day. Cott to Petrocelli is a 2-7 left-hander, a single to 2 on a 7. That liner speared by a leaping Allen. And that'll do it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Cott. We're through 5 innings here. Twins 2, Red Sox 1. Ah, of course. Oh, my God. How could I forget that, Kurt? Oh, now that you say it, I can picture it like it was yesterday. He had a complete meltdown out there, did he not? It was really good, Trent. My aunt, an amazing cook anyway. Homemade lasagna, how can you go wrong? Also made some homemade breadsticks to go with that. And an apple crisp for dessert. Fine bottle of Syrah. It was a good time. Okay, here's Stevenson now coming out for the 6th inning. I feel the same way you do, Kenyon. Allison 1 for 2 will start things off. Stevenson gets the sign from Tillman now. Here's the pitch. That's a 1-8 right-handed. He walks him. Leadoff walk to Allison. That now is, let's count him. That's 1, 2, that's 4 walks issued by Stevenson. Allison a star 20, of course. Allison, excuse me. Earl Batty at the plate. He's going to try to roll that 5. Held at 18. Does not get it. Rolls to 6 again. Here's the next pitch to Batty. That's a 2-5 right-handed, and he walks him. Back-to-back walks by Stevenson. That's going to send Tillman out to the mound, and that's going to get him stirring in the Boston pen. Rollins will leave a Killebrew. Jim Lonborg loosening in the Boston pen. Stevenson has walked 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced now. We're going to give him one more batter here, Bernie Allen, with the pitcher's spot on deck. So Stevenson getting the sign. Here's the pitch to Bernie Allen. That's going to be a 6-4 left-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That could be 2. Petrocelli, a 2E38. Here's the play. That's an 18. Petrocelli, 2 Smith, 2 Scott, double play. 6-4-3X. Allison to third. And now, Jim Cott at the plate. So Stevenson trying to get out of this. Cott, though, you remember, almost hit a home run in his last at bat. He hit that 211, 1-16, and threw the 20. Left-handed hitter. Stevenson's pitch on a 1-2. It's a fly ball to left field, playable for Yastrzemski. He's there, and that will do it. So Stevenson walks the first two batters and wiggles out of it. I'm going to take just a minute here and catch up on the chat. This is very interesting stuff. The 1985 World Series. Franklin's got a game just started. That's right, it was Don Denkinger. I remember that now, too. Thank you, Razor, for that memory. I had forgotten about that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I love having my memory jogged, and then things just pop in there, and you're, oh yeah, that happened. We move to the bottom of the sixth here in a tight ball game. Twins leading at 2-1. Foy, Yastrzemski, and Scott due up. Foy 2 for 2 in this one. Caught set now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Foy is a 2-7. He pops him up on the left side. It'll be Versailles making the catch. One down. Here's Yaz now, 0 for 2 on the day. Caught set now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Yastrzemski. That's a 5-6 left-handed, a double to 5, and that's going to drop in right field. Gets past Oliva. That's going to roll to the wall. Yastrzemski rounds and holds at second with a double. Tying run in scoring position for George Scott. Caught 8 ranked for endurance. I should say 8 rated for endurance. So no problem there. Scott 0 for 2 on the day. Caught checks the runner. Now the windup on the pitch to Scott is a 5-11 right-handed. It's going to be a fly to right field X. That's Oliva, the Gold Glover out there. A 1E10. Here's the play. On N8, it's the E range. It's going to be a 6 on a 10. That's trouble. That's going to be a 2-base error on Oliva, and this game is tied. Oh, my. E9. Yastrzemski will score. Error on Oliva. And we got a tie game. I remember the Soho incident. Tony Conigliaro steps in 0 for 1. Plunked by Cott back in the second. Cott set now. Here's the pitch. That's a 2-10 left-handed, and he walks him. So Cott perhaps a little rattled after the error. Walks Conigliaro. First and second, still just 1 away, and here's George Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2. Caught trying to wiggle out of the jam in a tie ball game. Here's the pitch now to Thomas. It's a 1-7, and he bangs a single into left field, an open single. Scott could try to come in on that. He's a 13. To left field, Allison. Allison's a 0. 13 with 1 out, no. He's going to hold him up. and the bases will be loaded. And that's going to send Earl Batty out to the mound. Bob Tillman due up. George Smith to follow. And Cott is in a jam here in the 6th inning. A 1-out double followed by a 2-base error by Tony Oliva has tied the game. And now Boston has the bases loaded and 1 out and Tillman at the plate. Infield at double play depth. Cott ready to go to work now. Here's the pitch to Tillman on a 4-7. It's a grounder to first base B. That's going to get a run in, however, at double play depth. Killebrew goes down to Versailles for 1, back to first, not in time as Scott crosses the plate, and the Red Sox take the lead. Canigliaro goes to third. Here's Smith now, tripled in a run in the 2nd, grounder to third in the 5th, caught from the stretch, 2-6 left-handed, struck him out. That will do it, but 2 unearned runs for Boston on 2 hits, 2 left. After 6 innings of play, Red Sox 3, Twins 2. And hello there, Frank, and welcome. And oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Frank in Florida. I certainly hope whatever it is, it gets better for you, Frank. And the Mariners imploded. Yeah, I remember that well. I was at one of the playoff games against the Yankees that year. Mariners-Yankees. It was the one that Randy Johnson pitched 8 innings and Norm Charlton came on for the save. It was an absolutely unforgettable performance by the big unit. Of course, he had many of those in his career. Yeah, that's right, Kurt. Top of the order for the Twins as we go to the 7th. They trail by a run now as Stevenson begins his 3rd endurance inning. And we have to reorder the bullpen order now. Lonborg joined by Dick Radatz. Both men appeared in this game in real life. I absolutely love that album. Well, Trent Mookie's pretty much where you would guess he would be right now. We'll take a look at him at the stretch. Here's Zoilo, 1 for 3. Stevenson into the windup. Zoilo is a 1-3 right-handed, a single on a 1. He almost rolls it on a 2, but instead that liner speared by Joe Foy at third. Another fine play by Foy, and the batter will be Rollins. Rollins 1 for 3 today. Stevenson the windup. Here's the pitch now on a 2-10. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Yastrzemski at the wall. It's gone. Rich Rollins has just tied this game up with a home run. Rollins has the power. What's on his card anyway? 210 to 14. The roll is a 3. And for Bob Allison, his 2nd home run of the season. That ties it up here. Oliva and Killebrew due up. That's going to do it for Stevenson. And we're going to look for the double switch. Hey, how about that? I remembered one. Seventh inning, they're going to go to Jim Lonborg here. Maybe they won't, actually. Hang on a second. Do they have a lefty? They do, but it's Bennett. Not your typical lefty. No, it's going to be Lonborg. We'll stay with Lonborg. Let's see how we can double switch this. Could do it with second base. We could bring Jones in. I'm going to do it with the catcher's spot, however. So Mike Ryan is going to come on and catch. He'll hit in the 9 spot. He's a 2E3 with a 0 arm. 1 through 9 runner. And Lonborg, the pitcher, will go into the 7 spot. Replacing Bob Tillman. So here's Lonborg now. As Lonborg takes his warm-ups, I'm going to take a short break and use the restroom. Alrighty, we are back. I tell you, nothing like a close game to snap you out of your doldrums. I have to admit, I was feeling a little bit lethargic right before this game began. Anything but now. Okay, Lonborg's in now. He's ready to go to work. Tony Oliva 1 for 3 with a home run, and Tony would like nothing more than to make up for that error in the bottom of the inning that led to 2 Red Sox runs. All knotted up now at 3. Lonborg ready to go to work. Tony Oliva is a 5'6" left-handed. It's a fly ball to center field. Thomas is there to make the catch. 2 away. And that's going to bring up Killebrew. Killebrew 0 for 1, walked twice. Lonborg gets the sign now from Ryan. And that's a 1-8, and he walks him. 3rd walk for Killebrew today. Different story as far as trying to steal a base now, of course, with Lonborg with a -2 hold and Ryan a 0. So here's Jimmy Hall, runner on first, 2 down. Jimmy 0 for 3 today. Lonborg working from the stretch. pitch to Hall is a 4-9. That's banged into right field for a single. Killebrew will chug into third. How about that? 2-star single. Runners at the corners, 2 down. And here's Allison. Allison 1 for 2 with a walk. Lonborg checks the runners. Now gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Allison. That's going to be a 5-2 right-handed, and he walks him to load the bases. Oh my goodness. Second walk for Allison today. Hall takes second. So with 2 outs, the Twins have loaded the bases here in a 3-3 ball game. Earl Batty due up. Batty 1 for 2 with a walk. Lonborg in a jam here as he comes set. The full windup. The pitch to Batty on a 2-8. Single to 3, and he gets it on the 1. It's knocked down at short by Petrocelli, but he has no play. That's going to go as an infield single, and the Twins take a 4-3 lead. Killebrew crosses the plate. RBI for Batty. Hall to third, Allison to second. And it's 4-3 Twins in a back-and-forth game. What a game here today. Here's Bernie Allen now. Bernie 1 for 3. Caught on deck. Nowhere to put Allen, however. Lonborg set. The windup. The pitch to Bernie Allen is a 6-7 grounder to second base X. That's going to be Smith. Good second baseman. 2E28. Here's the play. On a 10, it's the E-range. That's going to be a 7 on a 28, and it's off of his glove. That's going to be an error on Smith, and another run will come in. E4. Hall scores to make it 5-3. Allison stops at third, Batty to second. Now with a 5-3 lead, Cott's going to hit. It's funny I didn't do the double switch with Smith because I didn't want to bring in the 4E34 Dalton Jones to play second. And they still made a crucial second base error. Bases still loaded, 2 away. Here's Cott now. Cott 0 for 3. But he's hit a couple balls well in this one. Pretty good hitting pitcher. Left-handed batter. The pitch from Lonborg is a 2-10 base hit for Cott. That's an open single to center. Allison scores easily. Batty can try to score, but he's very slow. 1-8. 2 outs, 1-10. Thomas a 0. They're going to send him with 2 down. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is out at the plate easily. So they sent Batty. Maybe not a great idea. Still a big inning for the Twins as they plate 4. 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 left. And as we stretch for the 7th, it is 6-3 Twins. So Cott, who almost homered, remember, in the 4th, he drives in a run with a single here. Yes, sir, Mike. The Twins batted around. I figure at that point, 1-10 with 2 outs, you might as well go for it. And it is Mookie time. I'm going to get some more coffee, too, so we'll take a short break. First, we'll take a look at Mookie. There he is. By the way, Mookie accompanied me, tongue-tied, to my aunt's yesterday. Yeah, he went with me. And he got to see, they have a border collie and an old grumpy cat. So Mookie, he likes to interact with Phaedra, the border collie. The old cat, Kumo, will have nothing to do with him. He kept trying to approach Kumo, but Kumo would just growl at him. I'm going to warm that up. It's certainly getting fluffier by the day, Ben. Bear with me, I'm eating a I'm shoveling down one of these Hostess coffee cakes. Just realizing that I didn't have lunch today. That's all right. We're going to the bottom of the 7th, so I'll be getting something to eat before too long. That'll hold me over. And welcome to Gerald, who's entered the chat. I'll make a little note to myself there too for when I score the game. Okay, Jim Cott getting set to go to work here at the bottom of the 7th. Twins lead at 6-3 now. Mike Ryan will lead it off for Boston. Ryan just 11 for 68 on the season. Defense first catcher hitting just 162. Excuse me. Caught into the windup now. The pitch for Ryan is a 4-5 right-handed. It's a fly ball to right field and playable. Tony Oliva's right there to make the catch, one away. Here's Petrocelli now. Rico 0 for 3 today. Cott gets the sign. The windup and the pitch is a 6-4 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. Tough chance for Zoilo, a 2E44. He's into the hole. It's a 19. He's there. Strong throw across in time. Nice play, Versailles. So Petrocelli grounds out to his opposite number. 2 down quickly in the 7th. And here's Foy. So Cott, who scuffled a little bit in the 6th, now with a 3-run lead, he seems to be coming right after him. And here's Foy, 2 for 3 today. Cott into the windup. That's going to be a 6-12 right-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Cott, of course, a Gold Glove fielder, 1E14. Here's the play. On an 8 E-range, it's a 5 on a 14, and it's going to be off of Cott's glove for an error. Remember, I switched dice yesterday after rolling a 5. Didn't seem to matter, did it? And welcome to Doug. So Foy reaches on the 2-out error by Cott. I'd have to think a rare error by Jim Cott. And that'll get Yastrzemski to the plate. 1 on, 2 down. Yaz 1 for 3 with a double. Left on left. Caught from the stretch. That's going to be a 4-4. Catcher's card X. Batty a 2E2. He should handle this one. Here's the result. On a 10, it's the E-range. On a 9, on an E2, and he makes the play. A little nubber in front of the plate. Batty picks it up, throws him out, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, one left. There was an error, of course. And through 7, it's 6-3 Twins. For Saez, Rollins, Oliva, Lonberg will start the inning. Ken Sanders throwing behind him. And Zoilo will start us off here. For Saez, 1 for 4 on the day. Lonborg getting the sign from Ryan. Here's the windup and the pitch on a 1-12 foul ball left side. That's going to be Foy drifting over by the railing, and he leans in and makes the catch. Here's Rollins now. Rollins a homer and a double in this game. Yeah, he may have won a few there, Franklin. Doesn't he have the most of anybody? Career Gold Gloves, that is. I think he even won more than Brooks Robinson. I could be wrong about that. Yes, 16 times, says Ben. Thank you, Ben. I believe that's the most ever of anybody's ever won. Rollins 2 for 4. Lonborg with the windup. It's a 4-10 right-handed, a shallow fly ball into center field. On comes Thomas. He's there to catch up with it, and there's 2 down. Here's Oliva now. 1 for 4 with a home run. Lonborg gets the side. On a 6-6 lefty, it's a 2-hopper down to first. Scott races to the bag, beats Oliva to the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lonborg. 6-3, bottom of the 8th. That's close enough to take a look at the defense. Yeah, we're going to have a couple of changes defensively for the Twins as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Mincher will come in Rollins' spot and take over at first. That'll move Killebrew over to third base. A 4E24, roughly the same as Rollins at third base. Here's Don Mincher. He's going in at first base, where he's a 3E12. 1 through 10 runner. And then Allison's going to be replaced by Ted Eulander. He'll go to center field, where he's a 2E7. Eulander fast. He's a 16 runner. Wow. Hall will slide over to left, where he's a 2. So the Twins shore up their defense and take a 3-run lead to the bottom of the 8th. Cott now. Maybe not the best Cott game, but he's smelling the complete game now with a 3-run lead. He'll be facing Scott, Canigliaro, and Thomas. Brooks had 16. Maddox had 18. Wow, I did not know that. Thank you, guys. Which one grew up near you, Ben? We got a lot of players we're discussing here. Cott, Brooks Robinson, or Maddox? Cott. That's what I figured, but I wanted to clarify that. Thank you, sir. Hell of a game here. I want to thank everybody for watching on a Sunday. Big crowd for a football day. I do appreciate it. George Scott will lead things off here against Cott. George 0 for 3 on the day as Cott gets the sign from Batty. Now here's the windup and the pitch. That's a 5-2 right-handed. It's a routine grounder to short. It's Versailles. Fires across to Killebrew, 1 down. That's going to bring up Canigliaro. 0 for 1 today. He's been on base twice, however. As Cott comes set, here's the windup on the pitch. It's a 6-8 right-handed fly ball to left field, playable for Hall, who makes the catch 2 down. Hall playing left now. And here's George Thomas. Thomas 1 for 3 on the day. Cott into the windup. That's going to be a 5-8 right-handed. It's a routine grounder to short, a little slow roller. Versailles comes in on it, throws on the run in time, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Cott man. 8 innings in the books. Twins lead it 6-3. Lonborg, who pitched a fine 8th, he'll come out for his 3rd inning of work. Maybe realistically he shouldn't have after that rough seventh he had. He gave up 3 hits and 2 walks that inning. In my mind, when he started the 8th, he was batter to batter. If he'd have given up anybody, or if he'd have given up a base runner in the 8th, Sanders would have come on. But as it was, he pitched a 1-2-3 inning, so he may as well go out there again. It's going to be Killebrew, Hall, and Eulander for the Twins. I need another... There we go. Okay, here's Killebrew. Killebrew 0 for 1, but walked 3 times. Lonborg the sign. There's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-2, and he walks him. Four walks for Harmon Killebrew today. Well, thank you, Russ. That's very kind of you. I kind of doubt that that's true, but I sure do appreciate it. Here's Hall now, 1 for 4. Sanders is ready down there. That would necessitate another double switch if they were to do that. They do have a couple of outfielders on the bench, so something to think about. Thank you kindly, Dan. I do appreciate that. Hall 1 for 4. Lonborg from the stretch. Pitch to Hall's a 3-3. It's a grounder to second base. That's going to be 2. It's Smith to Petrocelli to Scott. Double play. So just as I was thinking, at what point do I pull Lonborg? He throws up the double play ball. Now 2 out, nobody on. And here's Ted Eulander for his first at bat of the day. Eulander is 4 for 24 on the season. He does have 1 home run. Lonborg staring in to get the sign. Here's the pitch to Ted on a 1-4 base hit into right field. Eulander with the single. He's a star 19. 17 not held. They're going to have to hold him at 15. He's not going to go anywhere with the 3-run lead. Oh, why not? He can roll for the 7. Let's see if he'll roll for the lead. 9, he doesn't get it. And here's the pitch to Batty. It's a 6-12 grounder down to third base. It's Foy once again, throws him out. And Foy completes a nice game in the field today. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 6-3 Twins, caught trying to go the distance here. Red Sox will begin the inning with a pinch hitter. Pitcher in the number 7 spot now. And let's see what they've got. They've got a lot of lefties. And they've got Eddie Casco, the lone righty. So that's who it's going to be. Eddie Casco will grab a bat and he'll lead off here. Casco hitting .250, 8 for 32 in part-time play. He has a home run. Caught trying to go the distance here. He gets the sign from Batty. Here's the pitch to Casco on a 6-6. That's a double to 5, and on a 1, that's going to be down for extra bases. Casco cruises in and holds with a leadoff double. Another 1 on the 20D. We've had several 1s rolled today, or at least low numbers. The batter will be George Smith. Mike Ryan on deck. Caught a check of the runner. Here's the pitch to Smith. That's going to be a 6-10 right-handed. It's a grounder to third base X. That's Killebrew now at third. Killebrew, a 4 E24. Here's the play. That's a 1. He's not going to get it. That'll be a single, 2 stars, and a run will score. And now suddenly 1-hitter walk will fatigue Cott. It's an RBI single for Smith. Casco crosses the plate. 6-4. And they're not going to go quietly here in the 9th. Mike Ryan representing the tying run at the plate. And there's action now in the Minnesota pen. Who was their save leader that year? Well, it was Al Worthington, of course. And he's joined there by lefty Jim Merritt, personal favorite of mine. Batty out to the mound. I turn the heat down. The heat is on. Thank you, Trent. Thanks for watching. Have a good dinner. And greetings to Russ. Well, I already said that. Well, greetings again, Russ. I'll repeat myself. I remember the first time I saw Boog Powell as a youngster. I was stricken the same way. Couldn't believe how big he looked in real life. Tying run at the plate, it's Ryan. Remember, 1 more hitter walk will fatigue Cott. Here's the pitch to Mike Ryan. On a 1-8 left-handed, it's a grounder to short. That's going to be 2. It's Versailles to Allen to Killebrew, and just like that, the Red Sox are down to their last out. It'll be Rico Petrocelli. 6-4 here in the bottom of the 9th. Cott trying to go the distance. Here's the pitch to Rico. It's a 5-6 righty, and it's a triple on another 1. Holy smoke, can you believe this? Wasn't Smith's triple on a 1? I think it was. That's going to fatigue Cott. And if they had a little bigger lead, I'd let him try to finish it. But with Joe Foy representing the tying run at the plate, and Yastrzemski on deck, That's going to have to do it for Cott. So Cott looked like he was going to cruise to the complete game. He does not. He goes 8 2/3. Al Worthington minus his dog Spot will come on here. Cott allowed 3, 4, 5, 8 hits. 4 runs so far. He walked just 1 and hit a batter. And he struck out 2, 3, 4. Here comes Worthington. As he warms up, let's take a look at his numbers. 2-1 with 5 saves, but a very high 5.09 ERA in 18 innings of work. Mostly due to allowing 5 home runs. 18 innings, 16 hits, just 4 walks and 12 strikeouts. But 5 of the 16 hits he's allowed so far have been home runs. And certainly not the fault of his own card. Very few home run chances on Worthington's card. So we've got Petrocelli at third base with 2 down. Joe Foy, the tying run at the plate. He's 2 for 4 in this one. Worthington's set to work now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Foy is a 6-6 right-handed. Fly to center. That's going to do it. That's going to be Eulander making the catch for the final out, and the game is over. The Red Sox come up short. They get a run on 3 hits, strand 1. 6-4 the final score, and as always, I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. Worthington, in his third of an inning, he picks up a save. That's his 6th of the season. Jim Cott with the win improves to 5-1. Stevenson with the loss. See, I forgot to write Lonborg again. Stevenson with the loss drops to 1-6. He's now tied for the American League lead in losses. A dubious honor, to be sure. Thank you, Kenyon. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Franklin. Thank you, Mike. Stevenson, he worked 6 1/3. Four, 5, 6, 7 hits. Two runs charged to Stevenson only, so Stevenson pitched a nice game. It was Lonborg who let it get out of hand. Stevenson walked, 4. A little wild there. 7 hits, 4 walks in 6 1/3. 2 strikeouts. Lonborg allowed 4 hits. Wait, that can't be right. It isn't. Stevenson 3 runs. Lonborg 3 runs. There was an error there. Hang on. So we had an out, the homer, an out. Walk, single. So 2 of those runs were unearned. Lonborg also walked 3, did not strike out anyone. Russ, I'm sorry, but I can certainly relate. Player of the game, Jim Cott. Only 2 earned runs allowed in 8 2/3. Almost had the complete game. Twins end up scoring 6 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors. Red Sox 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Jim Cott, your player of the game. The Twins, with the win, moved to within a half a game of the Orioles. Thank you, James and Gerald and everybody. Razor. Let's take a quick look ahead on the schedule, see what we're going to have tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have the Baltimore Orioles at the Chicago White Sox. 2 fine lefties on the mound. Steve Barber for Baltimore, Tommy John for Chicago. So join me for that one, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. In the meantime, I'm starving, guys. I'm going to go get something to eat. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.